Good morning. Am I audible? Can someone confirm whether I'm audible? Okay, fine. Yeah. Right. Okay. Only 11 students. Previous class is going on. Okay. You just remind the faculty. Maybe the person has lost track of time. Okay. Mm. Now the class is over, right? I mean, 11 students are here. So what do we do? 12 students have joined. So that means class is over and people are not joining. Okay, we'll start. Fine. To get over, not yet over. Okay, fine. So, which class is that, Srinjay? Not yet over? Eating into our time space?
Yes, ma'am. Class got over now only, ma'am. Now people will start to join anytime now.
Okay, which subject is that, Srinjay?
Compiler design.
Okay, Marilyn madam. Fine.
Malati, ma'am.
Mahalati ma'am.
Ma'am, class completed, ma'am. People are joining.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Right. Okay, 26 have joined. Right. Okay, so yesterday we had started with the learning concepts. Learning concepts. We discussed what is learning and what is machine learning all about. Gave you examples for it, and then I told that machine learning is nothing but a subset of AI, for which deep learning is a subset of machine learning also, and AI is a superset which encompasses all these things. We looked into the goals of machine learning. Then we look into the challenges, and I think we had started. Okay, we had started looking into the different learning concepts. Okay, so the first and foremost, the most important learning concept is regarding the supervised learning. Supervised learning. Okay, so supervised learning, as the name implies, learning with a supervisor or a teacher. Learning that takes place in the presence of a supervisor. Okay, so out here the supervisor is nothing but the training data set. Okay, the supervisor will be in a position to tell what is correct and what is wrong. Okay, so as far as we are concerned, it is nothing but the training data set which will help us to train and test the model. Okay, so the target will be specified along with the input attributes. Okay, so that's what is supervised learning all about. Okay, so then a simple example which was given, I think this was discussed. Okay, I'll just mention it again. Okay, yeah, labeled. Okay, so we'll just move on to the types of supervised learning. Okay, so types of supervised learning. Okay, so there are two important types of supervised learning problems. So one is called the classification, and the second one is what is called the regression. Okay, so in case of classification, the output will be a categorical variable. A categorical variable. Just a second. Okay. So the output will be a categorical variable, whereas if it is a regression, then the output will be a numerical value. Numerical value. Okay. So yeah, some of the popular algorithms, machine learning algorithms, what are being designed for supervised learning, they are your decision trees, your support vector machines. So they all come under the category of supervised machine learning algorithm. Okay, so examples of this classification and regression. Okay, so suppose you have, you can see here, this is an example for a classification. This is an example for a regression. Okay, say you have a shopping data set, a shopping data set, which will help you to predict whether a particular customer will purchase a particular product under consideration, okay, based on certain attributes. So the input that is being given is the gender, the age, and the salary. Okay, so based on these three things, we are trying to predict whether a particular customer will buy a product or not. Okay, so the output is nothing but the purchased. So you put a value 0 or 1. Okay, so 1 means maybe yes, the customer will purchase. Okay, so 0 means the customer may not purchase. Okay, so that's an example for a classification. You have a categorical output. Whereas in case of a regression, okay, let's say this is the department from, the data set from the weather department, the meteorological department. Okay, so that's basically for, you want to predict. This is the one which we want to predict. That is nothing but the wind speed. Okay, so for we want to predict the wind speed based on different parameters. What are the different parameters? You have the temperature, the pressure, the relative humidity, the wind direction. So all these will help you to predict the wind speed. Okay, so the output is the wind speed. So this is an example for a regression. You have a numerical value or real value associated as an output. So in which case you can call it as a regression. Okay, so classification and regression. Okay, so a classification problem is when the output variable is a category, like your red or blue or disease or no disease. So, okay, so when you have these sort of outputs, we call it as a categorical variable which comes under classification. Okay, then regression. Regression is when the output variable is a real value, dollar or weight, or similar outputs. So that's when we numerical output. So that's when we call it as a regression. Okay, so now, okay, so some tasks are being given here. Okay, so some tasks are being given here. So you identify which one is a classification task here. There are 4 tasks given here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So which among these is a classification task? Okay, so can someone tell me? First one is find the gender of a person by analyzing his writing style. Gender of a person. So what will be the output in this case? What will be the output in this case? Come on, somebody can respond, right? At least in the chat window, you can text me. Gender of a person by analyzing the writing style. So I'm just asking, what is the output in this case? What will be the output in this case?
Male or female?
Yes, male or female or the third gender, the transgender. Okay, so whether it is coming under the, is it an example for a classification or a regression? The classification, right? So this comes under the category of classification. Then the second one, predict the price of a house based on the floor area, number of rooms, etc. Okay, so what about this? Whether this is a predicting the price. Price is going to be a a real number, maybe 2 crore or 3 crore or whatever, the price. So whether this is coming under classification or regression. Comes under classification or regression? Yeah, please. Somebody was trying to unmute and tell it. I'm not asking any rocket science questions. We just discussed what the difference between classification.
Regression.
Regression. Very good. This is coming under regression. Okay. So anyway, as far as your syllabus is concerned, these are the kind of questions which you will be getting for exam. We don't have problems from this part of AI. Problems, maybe I'll just show you 1 or 2 problems for illustration, but then other than that, you will not be asked problems from this part. It's only these kind of questions plus theory-based questions as far as ML is concerned. Okay. Then the third one is predict whether there will be abnormally heavy rainfall next year. So the output will be either yes, there's going to be rainfall, or no. Okay, so what will be this? Yes or no? Classification or regression? Atul?
Classification.
Yes, classification. Categorical. So it is classification. Okay, then predicting the number of copies of a book that will be sold. Predicting something.
Regression.
Very good. Yes. Okay, regression. Right. So now coming to the next one. Okay, fine. This is the same. Okay. Both are same. Okay, these both are the same. Okay, next one. I mean, just tell me, there are 4 tasks given here again, and which one of the following is regression task? Predicting the age of a person, whether it is a classification or a regression. Let me ask somebody, the same person responds. What about others in the class? Dipanshu? Dipanshu, predicting the age of a person. Irfan? I'll note down the numbers and no attendance to these people. At least you should tell me that you don't know. Still, I'll agree. Otherwise, I'm going to make a note of all these. So Dipanshu has not replied. Then, what about Irfan? Irfan, what is predicting the age of a person? Does it come under classification or regression? Irfan also not listening, just connected. Jairam?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what type of task is this? Predicting the age of a person, whether it is classification or regression.
Regression, ma'am.
Very good, regression. That's it. So no attendance for Dipanshu and Irfan. Let me note down the names. I'm not expecting a correct answer or anything, but some response should be there. Right. Okay. So then what about the rest of the things? So this is a regression, predicting the age of you have a real value, a numerical value for age. Okay. Then what about predicting the country from which the person comes from? You're telling India or Pakistan or Sri Lanka. So definitely it is a categorical output, a classification. So you're predicting whether the price of petroleum will increase tomorrow. What about this, Jivesh? Task number 3, whether it is a classification or a regression.
Ma'am?
The third question, predicting the third task, predict whether the price of petroleum will increase tomorrow, whether that is a classification or a regression.
Regression, ma'am.
Regression, why regression? Can somebody counter to it? I mean, what output will you be getting for this?
Numerics only, ma'am.
It is classification. Why? Because you will get an output yes or no. Either it will rise or it will not rise. So it has to be classification. Got it? Okay. The next, okay. The next is predict whether a document is related to science. Himanshu, predict whether a document is related to science. Himanshu.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this 4th task, predicting whether a document is related to science. So what task is it? Whether it is a classification or a regression?
Classification.
So yes, very good. So you will get an either it is related to science, yes, or not related to science. A categorical output, it's a classification. So only this was a regression. Okay,
Ma'am,
very good.
how is second one classification?
Predict the country from where the person comes from. I am not giving, why can't it be a classification? I'm giving an output, the person is coming from India or the person is coming from Sri Lanka.
Ma'am, isn't there many options? Like different countries.
Countries, if you associate it with a numerical value, then okay. Otherwise, it will be a classification.
Okay.
If you're not associating it with any numerical values, definitely it will be a classification task. Predicting the country from where a person comes from. Okay. At least somebody has asked me something. Who was the person who asked me something now?
Me, ma'am, Sudha.
Sudha Ramakrishnan. Okay, good, Sudha. Right. Okay. I'm happy to hear some responses from the class. Okay. Right. I think this is the same one. Okay. So that's all regarding our supervised learning. Okay. So unsupervised learning. Next, coming to unsupervised learning. There are no targets out here. Okay. Unsupervised, as the name suggests, you don't have a teacher to correct the model, just like your supervised learning. Okay. So, I mean, there's no instructor, no teacher. So we can say the algorithm has to learn on its own to make sense out of the data without guidance. Okay, so that's what unsupervised learning is all about. Okay, so you can say that out here, like supervised learning, in case of unsupervised learning, I mean, models are not supervised using your training data set. Okay, so the models are not trained using your, not supervised using your training data set. Okay, so out here in unsupervised learning, what happens is the model will try to find some hidden patterns or some useful insights from the given data. Okay, so you can even compare it with the learning that happens inside the human brain when you're trying to learn new things. Okay, so basically the goal of your unsupervised learning is to, I just mentioned, it's to find some hidden patterns or some useful insights. So the group, basically it's to group the data, grouping, in other words, clustering, okay, group the data according to some similarities, okay, and then represent that data set or that cluster or that group in some format, let's say in some compressed format. Okay, so I'm saying, so clustering is one of the tasks or unsupervised machine learning task, which is most popular. So I'm telling, there are so many smileys out here. Okay, so you group the smileys into cluster. Okay, so group the smileys into cluster. Simply when I say, by looking at the similarities, maybe you will group these two together. These two will be grouped together, and the remaining three, these will be grouped separately. So these are all happy smileys and these are all, let's say, sad smileys. Okay, so the other three are being put together. Okay, so but then you have many clustering algorithms and clustering techniques. Clustering is one of the most popular unsupervised machine learning tasks given in the literature. So based, I mean, if my algorithm is telling cluster it into 3 clusters rather than putting 2 clusters, I mean, the number of clusters can be specified. So I'm telling cluster into 3 clusters rather than 2 clusters. So what will I do? So maybe these two I will put it as under 1, then these two as maybe crying smileys, and these two separately. So I can, it all depends on your requirement. So this will be one cluster, this will be another cluster, and since we are asked to put, so you match the similarities. Okay, so these two are similar, these two are similar, so this is not so similar, a little bit dissimilar, you can say. This similarity measures are there. Similarly, dissimilarity measures are also there. So I mean, we are not going in depth into all those literature. So that's what I just wanted to tell you. what this unsupervised learning is all about. Okay, so yeah, some examples are given here. So which of the following are examples of unsupervised learning? Okay, so group the news based on text similarity. What about this? Is it a supervised learning or an unsupervised learning? Based on text similarity. Okay, so fake news or gossip or science or fiction, whatever. So this is an example for a unsupervised learning. Okay, so make clusters of books on similar topics in the library. Clusters, when clustering comes, definitely it will be a unsupervised learning. What about filter out spam emails? What about this? No, filtering out spam email is a supervised learning because you have a label, a spam associated with it, labeling is associated. Then the fourth one, segment online customers into two classes based on their age group, below 25 or above 25. Okay, so this also is not an example for an unsupervised learning. Okay, so these two are examples for unsupervised learning. Okay, so next coming to what is called your semi-supervised learning. Okay, semi-supervised learning. Okay, so if you tell what is the disadvantage of your supervised learning, the thing is, in supervised learning, the data set, whatever you are, whatever is under consideration, it has to be labeled. It has to be hand labeled either by your ML engineer, by your machine learning engineer, or by your data scientist. And as such, that's going to be a very costly process, especially when you are dealing with large volumes of data. Okay, so these days we are not talking about MBs or KBs. We are all talking about GBs and TBs or VLDBs, very large databases. Okay, so that's going to be a very costly affair. So then, as far as the unsupervised learning is concerned, the applications or the domains in which it can be used is very limited. The application spectrum is as such very limited. Clustering and only certain things come under the purview of your unsupervised learning. Okay, so to counter all these disadvantages, the concept of what is called your so-called semi-supervised learning was introduced. Okay, so semi-supervised learning means you can have, you can see here, semi-supervised. Okay, so you can have both labeled data as well as unlabeled data. Okay, so when you have both these together, then we call it as semi-supervised learning. Okay, so it's basically a combination of small amount of labeled data will be there and a huge amount of unlabeled data will be there to train the model. Okay, so basically what you do is a mixture of your supervised machine learning techniques and unsupervised machine learning techniques will be used in this particular case. Okay, so for example, I just mentioned that clustering. Clustering is something which, by default comes under unsupervised learning. Okay, so because the goal will be to identify the similarities or dissimilarities between the various data points. Okay, so it doesn't require any given information about the relationship between the data. But then there are certain situations where some of the cluster labels, that is your outcome variables or information about the relationship within the data is known. Okay, so in such situations, the concept of what is called your so-called semi-supervised learning comes into picture. Okay, so that's what, where exactly this semi-supervised learning comes into picture. Okay, so I saw one analogy in the internet regarding how to understand what is called a supervised, semi-supervised and unsupervised learning. So what it says is, so supervised learning is where a student is under the supervision of a teacher at both home and school. Okay, so that's what is supervised learning. Okay, so unsupervised learning is where the student has to figure out a concept by himself or by herself. And when it comes to semi-supervised learning, so what happens is teacher will teach few concepts and give questions as homework which are based on similar concepts. Okay, so I think that example will give you a clear idea regarding what exactly is a semi-supervised learning. Okay, so that is all regarding your supervised, unsupervised, and semi-supervised learning. Okay, and this semi-supervised learning is having a lot of practical applications also. For example, your if you take an example like classifying your contents of on the website, or not a website, let's say internet content itself, internet content classification. Okay, so it's not possible, or you can call it as impractical to label all the web pages. Okay, and it's not feasible to keep labeling all the web pages. So that makes use of some semi-supervised learning algorithms. Okay, and even your Google search algorithms. So that uses a variant of your semi-supervised learning techniques, basically to rank the relevance of a web page for a given query under consideration. Okay, so then there are a lot of similar applications for semi-supervised learning. Okay, so and I think Google has launched something called Expander. I'm not sure whether it is there as of now. It's actually called Google Expander. It's a semi-supervised learning tool called Google Expander. You need to check out. It was launched somewhere in 2015 or 16. Okay, so that's regarding semi-supervised learning. So next, coming to what is called reinforcement learning. Okay, reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is reward and punishment strategy. Reward, punishment. Reward and punishment strategy. Okay, so how to maximize, how to maximize the reward in a particular situation. Okay, so our best possible behavior to be followed, or the path to be followed in a specific situation. Okay, that's all regarding your reinforcement learning. So what could be an example for a reinforcement learning? We have learned about something in one of the units which could be treated as an example for reinforcement learning. Can somebody try to recall and recollect and tell me what it is? Reinforcement learning. Okay, I'll give you a clue. It was a game which we discussed in the class, or in fact you learned, wrote in the exam and other things. So that could be treated as coming under reinforcement learning. Balaram? Balaram? There in class? No. Okay. So can somebody identify and tell me what it was? Reward and punishment strategy. And we played that game. Still no clue.
Camel banana.
Camel banana. Was our camel being punished or rewarded for anything?
Rewarded with bananas on the way.
Rewarded with bananas, but then there was no okay. No. Okay, no, that was not the one. Yes, very good. Wampus World. Wampus World was that game.
Okay,
it was all about reinforcement strategy. There, we didn't punish our camel. Okay, so that is what is. Your Wampus World was an example for. Because you were rewarded for certain things and you were punished for certain things. That is, when you fall into the pit and all, it's a punishment. Okay. So I think when the strength of a class goes down, I should enforce this in the class. Am I right? Enforcement learning, reinforcement learning. Past 2-3 days, I'm seeing the strength of the class is very less. So I think I should go for this strategy. Those who don't come, when they come the next time, another 2 days attendance should not be given. That is the punishment strategy. Then reward is, what should be the reward then?
Reward for those who come to class regularly, ma'am.
For those who come to class regularly.
Extra 2 period attendance.
Extra 2 period. Very good. Those kind of strategies are very quickly being discussed. Okay, right. So very soon, depending on the strength, I'll be going for this strategy, reinforcement learning. Okay, so okay, that's regarding that. Okay, so we discussed all the different types of learning: supervised, semi-supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement. And these are the 2 types of variables under consideration, whatever we have discussed so far. So categorical. So categorical means, you are categorizing gender, male or female or transgender, age group. Yeah, you can put it as teenagers or whatever. Presence or absence of something, old age, middle age, young age, categorical, or presence or absence of something. Okay, these are all coming under categorical. That's the first one. Second is continuous. Continuous, infinite number of values. For example, your age or height or weight or price, these are all coming under continuous variable. Okay, so next is another topic called simple linear regression, and I mean a little bit description about it. So before I start with that, let me take the attendance. Okay, otherwise then I'll start with it. Otherwise I'll getting interrupted in between. Okay, so quickly answer your attendance. Shruti?
Present, ma'am.
Ryan? Ryan was there in the class. Why no response? Ryan left for lunch. Not there. Okay, absent. Aditya?
Present, ma'am.
Sudha is there.
Present, ma'am.
Yeah, Sanjay Kumar?
Present, ma'am.
Dipanshu? Dipanshu answered, so no attendance for you today. Vishal?
Present, ma'am.
Sanjay?
Present, ma'am.
Muhammad Fasil?
Yes, ma'am.
Muhammad Fasil and Nitish Venkatesh?
Present, ma'am.
And Dilip Kumar?
Yes, ma'am.
Shruti Kaushik?
Yes, ma'am.
Nitin R?
Yes, ma'am.
54, Satya Manikanta Reddy.
Yes, ma'am.
Ankit?
Present, ma'am.
Himanshu Kumar?
Present, ma'am.
Atul? Atul is also not there. Harika?
Present, ma'am.
Srinidhi?
Yes, ma'am.
Sai Hemant? Sai Hemant? Hemant is absent. Hemant is absent. Okay, present. Okay. Nitish?
Present, ma'am.
Darshini?
Present, ma'am.
Fatima?
Present, ma'am.
Sai Satish?
Present, ma'am.
Santosh? Okay, noted. Jeevesh?
Present, ma'am.
Akansha Chakravarti?
Present, ma'am.
Venkateshwara Reddy?
Present, ma'am.
Nityashri? Okay, noted. Ramya Bharati?
Present, ma'am.
Nityashri, Ramya Bharati. Jairam?
Present, ma'am.
Mona?
Present, ma'am.
Ala Yogesh?
Present, ma'am.
Ragul Raj?
Present, ma'am.
Sanjay Nambiar?
Present, ma'am.
Lokeshwar? No response. Absent. Kishore also absent. Sai Prakash?
Present, ma'am.
Naren?
Present, ma'am.
Arjun?
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Yogeshwaran?
Present, ma'am.
Srija?
Present, ma'am.
Rushendran,
Present, ma'am.
Ruti,
Present, ma'am.
Manikanta,
Present, ma'am.
Deepak Venkateshwar,
Present, ma'am.
Irfan.
Present, ma'am.
Where were you when I asked some question in the class? I should not be giving you attendance. That time, where were you?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I know the answer. But I was about to say regression, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I just got a network issue, ma'am.
Yeah, very smart. Rajadurai,
Present, ma'am.
Arun Kumar,
Present, ma'am.
Tilak, no response. Divya,
Present, ma'am.
Gunashekar,
Present, ma'am.
Anitarun,
Present, ma'am.
Shaji.
Present, ma'am.
Yes, okay, done. Okay, so I think most of you have installed Prolog, right? So Sanjay Nambiar is facing some issue with installation. He is somehow not able to install it in some pop-out windows. I mean, what was the issue, Sanjay? Towards the end, he is not able to complete the installation. So somebody who has completed the installation, please help him with it. So there are online compilers, but then preferably don't use them. Okay, so somebody who has successfully and very, comfortably done it, please help him. Okay. So, Sanjay, you just coordinate with somebody rather than using that online compiler.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. So, who will help him? Somebody take the responsibility for it. Who will help him? Oh God, you don't even help your classmates, huh? Nobody is ready to help a fellow classmate facing with the installation issue. Class representative will help. Aditya.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you please coordinate with him and please help him out.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. So next, moving on to the concept of what is called simple linear regression. Okay. So yeah, regression, these kind of techniques are used for either for forecasting something or finding out cause and effect relationship between the variables. Okay. So in regression, what you're trying to do is you try to establish a relationship between the independent variable and what is called the dependent variable. Okay, so there are different regression techniques, and the techniques may differ based on the number of independent variables or on the type of the relationship that exists between the dependent and the independent variable. Okay, but then the whole thing is all about modeling a target value based on the independent predictors. Okay, so actually when it comes to you can say the regression is nothing but it's a form of machine learning in which our objective or goal is to create a model that can either predict a numeric value some quantifiable value like your price or amount, size, or some scalar number. Okay, so our objective is basically to create a model that can predict something, predict some numeric value. Okay, for example, a company that rents the bicycle, they want to predict the expected number of rentals for the cycles in a particular day or in a given day. Okay, so that may be based on so many things. So whether it is rainy season or summer season or which day, whether it is a working day or whether it is a weekend, then it may be also based on the weather conditions, whether it is a sunny day or a rainy day or whatever. Okay, so these are the kind of problems that can be considered under regression. Okay, so what you're basically trying to do is you try to establish a relationship between the independent, estimates the nature of relationship between the dependent variable and the independent variable. Okay, so you can see here, I'll give you an example. Okay, so retail price of petrol in Chennai. That's dependent on the price of crude oil. Okay, so you have one independent variable and one dependent variable. Okay, then you can see here employment income. That's based on so many independent variables like hours of work, education, occupation, the gender, the age, the region, years of experience, and all these things. Okay, so the employment income is dependent on all these variables. Okay, so depending upon these types of variable, it is classified as two other things. I'll just tell you that. Okay, so it can be so either one independent variable or more than one independent variable. So here you have multiple independent variables. Okay, so depending upon how many, here the quantity of product sold, that depends on the price. Again, this is one independent and one dependent variable. Okay, or one input and one output. Okay, so depending upon how many variables you have. Okay, so it is being classified as bivariate and multivariate models. Okay, bivariate and multivariate models. Okay, so one input and one output, it is called a bivariate model. Okay, only two variables are under consideration. But then when you have many inputs and one output, then we call it as a multivariate model. Okay, so model price of wheat dependent on the quantity of wheat produced, or gender, education, experience, age, all influencing the income, a multivariate model. Okay, so what you basically try to do is, okay, so you try to associate coefficients for each of these inputs. So coefficients, either you represent it as B or beta. I think beta is the thing which is being used here, beta. So you put it as beta 1 into x1, beta 1 into x1, beta 2 into x2, beta 3 into x3, beta 4 into x4. So beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 x3 plus beta 4 x4 will give you y. Okay, so that's what a multivariate model is all about. Okay, then you also have, x is the independent variable, y is the dependent variable. So the equation, the regression model. Okay, so the model has two variables, the independent or the explanatory variable, the dependent variable, the variable whose variation has to be explained. Okay, so the relation between x and y is linear or a straight line relationship. The equation for a straight line, y equal to mx plus c. Something similar to that, here we have what is called the regression line. Okay, so just like your y equal to mx plus c, similarly you have what is called your regression line. Okay, so there's also something called an epsilon error. You can call it as a bias. Bias or error, which will be introduced. Okay, so what you're basically trying to do is you estimate this beta naught, beta 1. Okay, so using the equations given here, that is using the least square or some other method. Okay, so the resulting estimate of the model is, okay, so the symbol is termed as, okay, I think something is missing here. Okay, I'll just fill it. Right. Okay, this is actually the regression model, the equation for it. Then these are the uses of regression. Uses of regression: attempt to determine the cause of a phenomenon, prediction and forecasting of sales, economic growth, support or negate theoretical model, modify and improve theoretical model and explanation of phenomenon, or the amount of change in a dependent variable that results from a change in the independent variable. It can be used to estimate elasticities, ROI, return on investment in human capital, etc. Okay, so these are the uses of regression. Okay, so next is actually classification. Classification, we'll just take it up in the next class. Okay, so we'll just have to, we'll just recollect. Okay, so today what we have seen is, in fact, we are almost reaching the end of the unit. I think the next class I'll be able to complete this. So this is what we are right now doing. Okay, so next is clustering. Clustering, I mean, your ANN and other things comes up. Okay, so we discussed about learning. What is learning all about? Then what is machine learning? Then the goals of machine learning, the challenges, and the different types of learning. The learning concepts, where we have what is called supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised, and reinforcement learning. Okay, I gave you a simple example to understand the concept of supervised learning. Then the two different types of supervised learning. So one is called classification, where the output is a categorical variable, and regression, where the output is a numerical value. Okay, so categorical means, yeah, you're categorizing as red or blue, disease or no disease. Okay, so regression, a numerical value, dollars or weight or whatever. Okay, then I gave you some examples for what is a regression task, and which to help you to understand what the classification tasks are. Then also the same way, the regression. Then we looked into what basically the unsupervised learning is all about, learning without the teacher. Unsupervised learning is all about constructing models that will find out some hidden pattern based on the similarities or dissimilarities. Okay, so I mean, you're trying to get some hidden patterns or insight from the data. Okay, so grouping of data, that's when the clustering comes into picture. Grouping of data based on the similarities. And yeah, then yeah, I gave you the disadvantages of your unsupervised and semi-supervised learning, which led to what is called the emergence of what is called you have your semi-supervised learning. Okay, so some labeled and some unlabeled. Okay, then we looked into reinforcement learning, reward and punishment strategy. Okay, then the types of data. Then we had a look into the simple linear regression. Then the types of it, bivariate, multivariate model. Then the regression line and other things. So tomorrow's class, next class, we'll look into the classification technique. Right? Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.